how much same like a physics, how much we just imputed there, but we're not seeing that. We see and view there's something in over there which identify that existence, that phenomena, self or anything. Okay, so anyway, there's the story to make it short. So therefore, there's this imputation concept of imputation. Phenomena are merely imputed. Is just like a dream. It's just imputed. It's just like projected, like a movie. It's just projected up there. There's no such a real car or character exists there. It's merely projected by our own karma, projected by our own imprint. It's almost like a projector projected in the screen. So it's just like an illusion, but of course, if it's a good movie, the audience get involved. Okay, we believe it, we recalled, we tell that. So anyway, projection, philosophy of an emptiness, there's a lot of understanding how much the projection is playing the role of existence. Okay, so anyway, part of that, I was in America, and then there's one tree was dying, and then a friend of us, we all gathered together, let's make something from this tree, or maybe we'll make a standing bodhisattva, or we'll make something. Don't just cut it, just make some art from that. And they say, okay, let's do it. And so we're all trying to get together and trying to shave, but none of we are experienced. We have only the motivation, but none of we have experience. So anyway, we all worked so hard and trying to make a shape of one of the bodhisattvas, but the tree was so hard, and none of we are well trained. So then we decided to kind of compromise and trying to make a vase looking, kind of nice vase looking. So anyway, we all kind of thinking, imputing as this is a vase. And later on, some student came and they asked Rinpoche, what is this? And I said, this is the vase. It's looking as like a vase. And until I didn't impute it, none of them as can register as like a vase as looking. So anyway, one of the key thing over here in the philosophy of emptiness, also we need to understand there is a something, and that is something is created through only projection, not by existence within the somethingness in there. Okay. Anyway, now I'll tell another part a little bit. This again in instruction into meditation over emptiness. Maybe we might feel, what happens if we meditate in emptiness, and what happens? What will be the feeling, and what will be the kind of first expression of getting such a taste of a reality, existence? Okay. So now again, here I'm not telling that, I'm not claiming, oh, I know it, I understand, or I heard from my teachers, and also I, observed all those instructions. The individual meditator, or exploring into this concept of emptiness, when they first realize, when they have this kind of first taste of emptiness, guess what happened? Maybe we think, oh, you will get really joy. Not necessarily. Individual getting lots of fear and sad. It can have both kind of emotion, sadness, and also very joyfulness. Okay, so now this is, I think, is very interesting. Usually we say, oh, meditation of emptiness, and you meditate, it should be something kind of joyful. Now, for example, the shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation, pretty much in the meditation of when you individual get really in strengthening the shamatha meditation, no fear, I think. Never experience fear. Now here in the meditation of emptiness, in advance, individual can feel this two, extreme kind of fear experience. Not for one individual, I'm not saying. For different people are different. Some individuals fear, some individuals joy. And for shamatha meditation, concentration meditation, once individual get in a more advanced level, like for example, shamatha, the shine meditation, and there's a 9 level of a journey that you take, and the end of that 9th stage, in actually is lots of joy. Joy in terms, not that joy that we ordinarily experience, is a joy in terms over here, is a big suppleness of a mind and body into that kind of state of concentration. So again, it is a very very different type of a meditation experience. Is also described into those texts. Now, we might think why there have to be fear, okay? And we have to look at it. That fear comes from habit. That fear comes from karmic imprint, and that fear comes from contradiction. That fear comes from the discovery of a truth, discovery from your own reality of existence. Of course. Now I'm telling for some individuals, fear. And that fear not as a cause of a discouragement. No. Sometimes lots of fear creates a discouragement. And fear creates paralyzed that you're not able to move forward. Your sense of feeling stuck. But here, although individual person can experience a fear, but that fear is not that kind of paralyzing fear, the fear that's awakening fear. Okay. Now, for some individual in those texts says that kind of experience of a meditation of emptiness when they firstly arise, tremendous joy. And in the instructions, they will say this joy is like a meeting, sometimes your friend, you have a separate for so long time, and the first time when you meet that your dear friend, there's a sense of a bonding, there's a sense of a present moment, there's a sense of a joyfulness. And that kind of joy, when I'm saying, so anyway, it is a joy state of experience, fear state of experience. In both cases, those experiences become source of inspiration and furthermore, although it have a negative experience and a positive experience. Okay. Any questions? I want to, some of you have a study Madhyamika philosophy. Please ask me question. Any questions? It's really good. Anybody you can ask questions in the philosophies. Don't be shy. Any questions? Yes.
Sorry, Rinpoche, I always get stuck when I keep hearing these words, merely imputed. I don't know what merely means and imputed. When you talked about imputations, do you mean like projections? Like, is that another synonymous word for that? So that's
okay. Okay, now, really good question. Now again, this terminology, mere imputation, is obviously is translated from Tibetan to English, and of course, the Tibetan word mere imputation comes from Sanskrit. So now, okay, now I'm not going to quote the source in Chantakirti's writing, the Nalanda's literature. I'm not going to quote, but now here in one of the texts is mentioned when they describe the mere imputation, is described like a imputation snakes on the rope. Like this is like one of the standard analogy in Madhyamika. Once you see, certain environment, and the rope is weighed, looks like a snake, and you came in, and because of that fear, you 100% you project snake on the rope. And that is a mere imputation. There's no any single atom which exists as a snake into that rope. So like 100% it is just mere imputed. So the word mere is there's nothing that can identify snake from the rope. There's no any kind of characteristic or some kind of things that can identify as a. So therefore, the concept of a mere. So now again here, for us this is a. What means I'm mere imputed? I'm here. I'm solid. I can feel it. How I can say this is mere imputed? I can feel it. Now, even physics point of view, actually this is interesting. In the early Buddhist school, in the Buddhist philosophy, there is atoms are divided into 7 levels. And in a concept of atoms also really, in my limited understanding, not as advanced as today's scientific discovering of atoms, but in ancient time, there is a really going to quite detailed concept of atoms. Okay, so anyway, so I think, like when we say table, there's nothing can identify within this basis of a table, because once we analyze, it's also disappear. There's nothing can stand as a table within the basis. Now, even within the basis, you take specific basis, you analyze, they also cannot stand as a basis within the base itself. Base itself as also mere imputation. So something that mind kind of characterize and kind of locks into that reality. There's nothing can, when, usually in the Madhyamika philosophy, we use this word called ultimate analysis. Ultimate analysis. So basically, when you furthermore zoom in, it's like kind of infinite. Sometimes this how the Hubble telescope, when it zoomed into the universe, it's like infinite. It's just coming infinite and infinite. There's no something. Anyway, this is sometimes they call black hole and all that kind of things. So basically, this is something that infinite. Something that so exists infinite, only option is exists by mere imputation.